Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda, and today I have for you part 3 of my declutter series. So today we are going to be decluttering my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and kind of contour palettes that I have. So let's get started with that. All right, so my third drawer is my blushes, my highlighters, my bronzers, and this trio contour palette. So let's start with the blushes. Actually, let's start with the bronzers first. I've got this blush highlight and contour palette from Maybelline. This bronzer is way too dark for me, and this, or contour is way too dark for me. And this highlight, is non-existent, and this blush isn't really a color that I'm fond of, so I'm going to donate it. I have two Tarte bronzers. This is the Park Avenue Princess. I think it's the waterproof version. It's the one with shimmers in it. So it's a really pretty bronzer. I think it's really nice. So that's one of my favorites. And then I've got this Tarte, just Park Avenue Princess pink bronzer, which kind of has your mix of colors. So it's also really pretty. I kind of use this one as a blush sometimes too if I stick in the middle. I also have the sample pack of the Park Avenue Princess waterproof bronzer and Glisten Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush from Tarte. So I've got four highlighters. I've got this strobing pencil. I don't honestly know anything about strobing, so I'm not entirely sure how to use it, but it's really pretty. There you can see that. I don't think I'm honestly going to use it, and I believe I got it in a subscription box, so I'm going to donate it. I have this Sigma highlight that went with the green pigment and that green and peachy eyeshadow duo, and it's Sweet Thing Spotlight Powder. It's a little too dark for me as a highlight, and too shimmery to use as a blush. It's not catching super well. I think I'm going to move this to my eyeshadow drawer and use it as an eyeshadow. And then I've got my two favorite highlighters. I've got the Mary Luminizer highlighter from The Balm and the Tarte highlighter in Exposed. So, and that's the Tarte highlighter. Use my pinky here. This is a pretty intense highlighter. There's that. And my highlighter from The Balm, we'll use my thumb. Let's see. So that also is pretty intense. There you go. So for blushes, I've got quite a few. I have three kind of creamy blushes. This one is by Beauting in Beauty. It's a blush serum. So it's a lip and cheek cream color. I'm really confused by this. I don't know if you can see this this cruelty-free little logo. It's a bunny on a heart balloon. I have never seen that anywhere before, so let me know if you've seen that and if that's even a legitimate cruelty-free symbol. I'm getting rid of this. It looks like it's empty, but it's honestly just dried up. It is so pigmented and I just don't even know what to do with it. So I've never used it. I've only ever swatched it, and this is insane. And it doesn't blend very well. It's just chunky and not good. So this is going to the garbage. I have this really old L'Oreal cream blush. I mean, it's so old that you can't even see the the writing on it anymore, but it's a blush that I saw in 17 magazine that Hilary Duff used. So if that tells you how old it is, it's a really pretty color, but I just don't go for cream blushes anymore. And it's so old it has to be expired by now. And I think I have plenty of colors similar to this in powder blushes that it's time for this to go in the garbage. I have this blush duo by the Beauty Core. It's called Papaya Don't Peach. And one side is a cream blush, the other is a powder. I've never used this before. I've only ever swatched it. I think for me this color is way too dark. But that's a really, oh gosh, there's still highlight on that finger. Let's move to the other arm. It's a really pretty peach color that you can't really tell on my skin. I don't think I'm going to use this, especially not the cream blush side, so I'm going to get rid of it. So now we're going to get into the rest of my blushes. I have this Maybelline Fit Me blush in light rose. I've hit pan on it. It's a gorgeous color. I bought this probably 2 years ago, so it's probably expired. But I was doing a 1950s rockabilly look for a bridal shower. So honestly, that's where my makeup kind of started and took off. And that's why I have a lot of drugstore non-cruelty free brands, because at that point I was just getting into makeup and needed to stock up to do that look. So I'm going to finish this. It's a really pretty pink color. I won't repurchase it when I'm done with it, obviously, because Maybelline is not cruelty free. I also have this Coastal Scents sample package, which is kind of confusing because it says a blush and bronzer palette, but then it says one blush and one highlighter. So I guess the blush and bronzer palette is a bigger palette. So it's got a really pretty kind of orangey peachy blush in it and this kind of gold champagne-y highlighter. I'm going to hang on to it for now. I haven't reached for it yet, so I'm going to make it a priority to reach for it. I've got 4 blushes from Milani. I've got Luminoso, which is a really popular Milani baked blush color. And honestly, I was so shocked when I got this because I feel like mine is so orange compared to everyone else's. But I don't know if that's actually what it's supposed to look like or if I just got a funny one. But it's a really nice summery color, so that's kind of what I leave it for when I'm a little more tan. And then I have 3 of the Milani Rose blushes. I bought Romantic Rose, which is a dupe for Tarte Exposed. It's a really pretty color. I kind of have an issue with the smell of these, though. They don't smell very good. But I also have Tea Rose, which is a darker pink color. And then I have Coral Cove, which is a really nice coral color for spring and summer. And then I've got a handful of Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes. So I do have Exposed. This is one of my favorite everyday blushes. I have Captivating, which is more of a kind of corally peach color. I have Dazzled, which is a nice rosy mauve color. And then I've got 2 of the travel sizes in Sightful, which is just, again, it's kind of pretty similar to Exposed, but it's a little more peachy, I would say. And then Parte was the birthday sample for at Sephora, so I got that. And it's also pretty similar to Exposed, but just slightly different. So that is my blush collection. And there we go for my blushes and bronzers and highlighters. Alrighty, so that is it for my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and contour palettes. I would love to know what some of your favorite, especially blushes and highlighters are. So if you feel so inclined, please leave those down in the comments below. And I look forward to decluttering part 4 with you. Bye.